Hi guys, and welcome back to Maths with Miss S. This is part 2 on functions, and in today's video we will learn how to calculate the value of a function for specific x values. This is also called evaluating functions for specific x values. So in maths, a lot of the times you will get a function f of x is equal to something. In our case now it's 4x minus 3. A good tip there straight away, highlight your variable. So whatever is in that bracket after the f is going to be the variable, and that's what you are going to replace with certain number values. So in the first example there, we're now going to evaluate that function for x is equal to 2. So instead of every x, we're going to write in a 2. And that gives us 4 times 2, which is 8, and we take away 3, that's 5. So we have the function's value for x is 2 is equal to 5, and we can write that as a couple as well, which would be 2 for the input and 5 for the output. If we're going to evaluate the same function for x is equal to minus 7, we will now see how important those brackets are, because whenever we have negative signs in there and we would put no bracket around that, it could technically be interpreted as 4 minus 7, and that would not be the same as that multiplication that we're supposed to do. So make sure you're inserting your brackets around whatever you're filling in to make sure you're not making any mistakes. Now, the other function that I wanted to look at today is coming with a few more perks, because this time we have to square our value and multiply it and then add 5. So there's a lot of stuff happening there, and again, you will see now how important those brackets are, because there's a big difference between minus 2 squared, where the minus 2 is in a bracket, because that would mean I'm multiplying minus 2 by minus 2, which is plus 4, so that's what we should write down here. If we had no bracket, we would only be squaring the value 2 without the minus, and then we would get minus 4. So when you type that into your calculator, it's really important to actually put in those brackets as well. And what you can do straight away is type your first line there into your calculator, or if you want to do it by hand, make sure you get your signs right, so your positives, your negatives, make sure that's correct. And again, in the end, you can write down your couple as well. Let's now evaluate that same function for x is 5. So again, instead of every one of these x values, we're going to fill in 5. So we have f of 5 is equal to 5 squared minus 2 times 5 plus 5. Again, if you choose to type that into the calculator, make sure to insert your brackets, and you will get your output 20. And as we already said, you can just write that down as f of 5 is equal to 20, or later on, really important, as a couple, 5 for the input and 20 for the output.